नमस्ते आदाब cooperative agriculture university here and currently in Bhubaneswar Babu. I thank each one of them to give this wonderful opportunity. Good afternoon to the dignitaries on the stage, off the stage, and the wonderful audience. Let's clap for all these answers. Now, I'm going to present a paper on the topic tax harmonization. What exactly is tax harmonization? Now, I also want to imagine two questions which are appearing in the screen right now. Why is action conducted only in UAE when there are not 7 other countries as members of ICC? Well, there are very good answers that I cover this in the course of the PPT. The second question is, what is the similarity between all the 3 MNCs which are appearing on the screen right now? Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs. What is clarify the similarity between these MNCs? Yes, exactly. That's the service they provide. And what are the other things for the similarity in these MNCs? That also I will cover in the course of the PPT. So let's start. I will be covering the following types of paper. What exactly is tax haven? All the countries covered in the tax haven. What is Indian taxation versus foreign taxation? Next topic, what is exactly double taxation over in agreement on which my friend Madhu will also guide you somehow. And the other thing is live example of MNCs, like how exactly MNCs are using this culture and getting the tax save, earning around in crore and paying minimal taxes. Next topic, offshore entities. We have heard a lot about this. Like we have heard Panama Papers, so many scandals. Getting the entities in Dubai, Foreign, Australia, Mauritius, South Africa, whatnot. But what exactly is this step? Let's understand that part of it. And lastly, what exactly is transfer pricing? So in any case, guys, what exactly is tax haven? That's a big answer. I thought the same answer will be there. So I thought zero taxes will be the answer. Are you excited to know more about this? So this is a chart which shows exactly how much taxation is there in so and so countries. Let me brief you some of the countries in which there are minimal tax. It is not zero tax, it is a minimal tax. Like the countries will not charge corporate tax, but they will charge payroll tax, or income tax, or property tax, or social security tax, transaction tax, whatnot. Like they will tell you only that there is no immediate tax, but there is direct taxes you in some of the other way. Like if I tell you there is no corporate tax for you, but if I tell you there is a payroll tax of 80% to 40% depending on your income, what brings the people of our nation? It's the benefit to corporate the government is providing to promote the employment in the country. So that's not the case. It's not zero tax. It is a minimal tax to the corporate. The countries are giving the benefit to that corporate. Coming to Cayman Islands, we have listened to Cayman Islands many a time. Many of the offshore entities, Fortune 500 companies are setting up subsidiaries in that country. Why only Cayman Islands? Because the corporate tax in that country is 0%. Yes, you must be right, it is 0%. But other things I am saying that there are payroll taxes in that country ranging from 8% to 14%. There are social security taxes in that country as well. Other taxing nations are Hong Kong, Mauritius, Switzerland, Jersey, Panama. Yes, we are getting to that. These are all tourist places. We have heard many times of Switzerland, Hong Kong, Mauritius. These are absolutely very good tourist places as well. But we have seen many good MNCs set over in these countries, having their joint associates, subsidiaries, holding companies set over to that country. But we can see the business is running over in India. Now let's understand the country-wise definition, like what exactly the country is providing and what exactly that country is known as tax haven. British Virgin Islands is holding 5,000 times more than its FDI. Like suppose I can tell you that Atom is invested from foreign in British Virgin Islands, but it has 5,000 rupees worth as investment from foreign. Like if it invests 1 rupee in outside market, it is getting 5,000 rupees from domestic market itself. So like if I tell you, if I give her 1 rupee and you are giving 5,000 rupees instead, so who is winning here? Me giving 1 rupee and you give me 5,000 rupees back. So I am getting benefit of 4,999 rupees. The same thing British Virgin Islands is here in Ireland, holding 5,000 times more than its foreign direct investment. Coming to Cayman Islands, I already stressed on this. It is home to subsidiary of 4,500 companies. Like we have William from MP this year also. Getting to Fortune 500 companies is a very good thing. Like you have to have revenue so many. Like you have to be the top 500 companies of nation having global network. So that is the Cayman Islands is having subsidiaries, many subsidiaries of Amazon, Flipkart, Walmart, Goldman Sachs, and these are the nations which are having subsidiaries in that nation. Coming to Switzerland, it is also known as secrecy of banking sector. Now, if I say that you invest in my country and I leak this information to your nation, then you might be taxed in your nation. So I will want to get benefited by investing in your nation. So we have to provide the secrecy. There are also other laws that we are covering in the course of the PPT. The secrecy of this information is very, very important. And Switzerland is known for secrecy of banking sector. UAE, there is no personal income tax, no capital gain tax in that country. So there are many corporates in that country benefiting the employees rather than corporates. We can see MNCs not having subsidiaries over these countries. Like larger parts of the MNCs not having subsidiaries. There are few MNCs which already have set up there, but they are planning to move these MNCs to some other country where the corporate tax rates are zero. According to the survey conducted in 2020, Corporate Tax Nation Index, the lowest tax rate was 0% in Cayman Islands. They thought every year the index is going to change. Like they will be collecting survey, they will be having the tax paid by the corporate. They will be dividing the number by the revenue, and the index is arrived. So the lowest index they have found it is in Cayman Islands, which I will show you exactly located in the book of PPT. In the Jersey, which is located in UK, there are no property taxes in this country as well. Now let us compare what exactly is Indian taxation and versus foreign taxation. Now if I say this, if tomorrow Honorable Prime Minister Modi comes and says, भाइयों और बहनों, मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, और वजह से जो आप पे टैक्स लगेगा, वो खाली 20% पे लगेगा. अभी जो सरचार्ज लग रहा है, जो सेस लग रहा है, वो सब निकालूंगा मैं. वो सब निकाल के मैं कॉर्पोरेट को टैक्स करूंगा. How will I be happy receiving this statement from him? Like I will convert this into English. I think you guys will get Hindi. I told that tomorrow Modi comes and tells this that the maximum tax which I will provide on individuals is 20% and capping the tax rate at 20%, removing all the surcharges, removing all the HGC and taxing more on the corporate side. How many of the individuals will be happy listening to this statement of Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi? Like no one will be happy. Like we exactly know how Modi will be planning the taxation, giving the benefit here and taking some of the benefits from us, and in the net we will not be getting much more benefit in the statement also. So this is the thing. Lowest corporate tax possible in India is 17.472% according to section 115. But lowest corporate tax if possible, the tax regulations are 0%. So this is the problem of it. Like this, I'm not the problem. There are some challenges why we are not getting holding subsidiaries in India. Like we have MNCs in India, but there are not at such big level which are operating in other nations as well. Other thing is foreign income is taxable in India according to section 5 and 9. That is based on effective management. If it is in India, the tax you need to pay is in India. Also, you earn the income in foreign. Other thing is, I already told there are no property taxes in the country of Jersey. Now, if you are paying if you are dealing transactions in foreign currency, obviously RBI will be coming and they will be setting some guidelines. So let us now understand that part of it. What exactly are the RBI guidelines on this part? State Bank of India is authorized here, set up by the Indian government. Like to auto monitor how many funds are being received from foreign, and then from State Bank of India you can dispose this from multiple nations. But according to FCI Act, the only authorized is State Bank of India. Like if you want to receive funds from foreign, you need to have State Bank of India account, and from that account you can transfer this money in different accounts. Now let's understand what exactly is remittance scheme. RBI's cap the number of limits and number of transactions you can do with the foreign nation according to the country. It has $250,000 per year per person, which amounts to rupees 2 crore rupees. So you would have a maximum capacity of 2 crore rupees per person in a year. You cannot exceed this limit. Like if you have to use some other corporate dealing, or you have to use the name of some other person to remit the money towards outside, or you have to receive it. Now coming to foreign currency rate, everyone know that Indian foreign currency is decided according to fluctuation, like demand and supply of for foreign rates. So when we are dealing in foreign currency, demand and supply also changes. This will definitely affect the foreign currency. Now let's have a clear picture what is the differences and how many countries have which tax rate, so that they are called tax havingation. Now let's focus on this slide. Coming to this part of the slide, there are no personal income taxes in these countries. That is British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, UAE, Bermuda. They don't have any personal income taxes, and like that means that you need not pay a single rupee as a tax when you are earning in individual. Now coming to the second part of it, that is no capital gain tax. I already mentioned the Sweden side, if you remember. Switzerland, Hong Kong, Jersey, Singapore, these are all the countries in which there are no capital gain tax. Plus, all the countries covered in no personal income tax rate. These are also the countries in which there are no capital gain taxes. Coming to no property taxes, it's Cayman and Jersey. So I think you guys know why is UAE selected only the minimum of IPL rather than other nations. Like if you guys Google it, IPL income which is earned in India is also exempt from tax. If you don't believe me, you can Google it right now. The income earned from IPL in India is exempt from tax. Then why will BCI take something forward and pay taxes in some other country? So that's why UAE was only selected as the venue for IPL 2020. Now we will be surprised to know that these are the benefits of tax havingation. What exactly is the role of CA in this field? Now let me focus on that part. International taxation. Like you will be giving advice to the client how exactly he need to set up the entity. Like if you plan to set up the entity in India, what is the tax rate? If you plan to set up the entity in Cayman Islands, what is the tax rate? If we plan to set up the entity in Cayman Islands instead of Australia, then what exactly is the benefit of out of these two options? That is the scope of CA in this field. You will be hired for this services and you will be expected to give the solution and you will be expected to give a result what exactly is the comparison between these two companies. Next, setting of offshore entity. For this, you need to tie up with lawyers who will charge 10,000 or in lakh rupees for setting up these offshore entities. But there are many famous lawyers based out of Mumbai who are already famous in this field and known only for setting of offshore entities. They will ensure that all the taxation laws, all the foreign laws, all the laws in that country are properly complied, and there is no other thing which is left out to carry on smooth businesses with chartered accountants. Coming up next, compliance of law. Like we already, you guys are already past inter. You are studying inter, okay. So in the course of study in the year subject, you will learn about the IT Act, TMLA Act, SCR Act, SEMA Act. In that you will be coming to know that there is data secrecy, privacy policy, and what exactly is SPDI. SPDI is sensitive personal data information. You cannot leak any sensitive personal information which you have for other corporates or to anyone. So that part of thing you have to comply as a CA. How exactly the data is getting collected by you and how you provide the data secrecy to the client. How client is assured to give the data to you without having any second thought. Next one is merger and acquisition. Like if I ask you, you have a good textile business in India and so not textile business, automobile business in India, and we know the automobile market is in Japan. So you came to know that in Japan, one of the units has going to be shut down because of many reasons, and it is getting in lowest degree possible. So you will be interested to have a unit in Japan as well. So you will be interested to acquire that unit and have a business in Japan as well as India, so that you will have global presence. But you will be confused that in Japan they will be taxation rate might be more. And if I acquire Japan unit, the balance sheet I need to make in Japan currency. Then I have to merge that balance sheet in Indian currency. There are foreign currency fluctuations. There are finite regulations. So many the client will not be interested to know this all thing. So they will just hire a CA and they will just looking for the consultancy services, how to get the tax saved by acquiring that unit. So you as a CA working there, you will be working on this field merger and acquisition. How exactly is that merger or that acquisition of the company beneficial to the company in the business or in the coming decade? So I already spoke of this data privacy. It's a very important thing because we are in such a profession that each financial information when we get into the client, every information of financial is very important, and we cannot go on share to someone other people. We have to be very authenticate. We have to be very authorization to give some information outside. So there are total 88 double taxation avoidance agreements entered, which India has entered with foreign nations, out of which 85 are in force right now, and entered with tax haven countries with Mauritius, South Africa, and many other taxation. But these are the countries which India uses the most as DTW. Now this is a slide which we can see the tax haven nations are covered around the world. You can see in Asia there is Hong Kong, there is Switzerland, and this Jersey comes in UK, there is Mauritius, and this is Panama. Let me check on this Panama. We have already heard about this scandal, Panama Papers. We have heard Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Abhishek Bachchan name coming out in it. What exactly happened in that case? I will not stress more. I just brief out you that. What happened is the names of these persons were leaked in that papers. So only Indian government got to know that they have invested their money in that country, and since the data is leaked, Indian government got hold of them and told to remit all the situations like how exactly the holdings are there in different countries and started to change the taxation accordingly. Now let's understand how MNCs are getting benefited out of this. Now let us know that Vodafone MNC. It has subsidiary set up in Cayman Islands. The government of India has changed its taxation laws time to time from retrospectively, not from retrospectively from 1962 to get the Vodafone case into taxation which of Indian taxation law. But at the end, the Vodafone company ended up paying no tax on that case. Coming to Amazon, what Amazon did exactly is it has changed its holding subsidiary unit, which is based out of Chennai, to Singapore. Why? Singapore is a tax haven nation. They ended up paying much taxation in India. Doing this, it has saved crores of rupees as tax expense. Coming to Walmart. We all know that Walmart is a great MNC having the commodity, very great deals in the commodity business. But why exactly there is no holding company of Walmart in India? The situation is the same. The answer to this question is the same thing. That India does not support to operate that level. I have already shown you that slide. 17.472% is the minimum tax rate corporate has to pay in India. That also we have to follow so many provision section bylaws to get into that section. Google. We all are using Google day in and day out. But Google has only subsidiaries in India, but not holding companies. Why? So somebody say Indian tax Modi does not support lower taxation to the corporates. Other laws, PAMLA. What is PAMLA? PAMLA is Prevention of Money Laundering Act. If you say that you are having, there are three stages to it: layering, anti-laundering. So if you have there are three stages to it. If you set up the business to it in India, then you have subsidiary in Mauritius. So in that Mauritius country, you have subsidiaries in some other country known as Cayman Islands. How exactly is the transaction tax here? Let us understand. If you send the payment to Mauritius subsidiary, and from Mauritius subsidiary you send the business to Cayman Island, it will come under layering. Like you are voluntarily trying to infuse the funds in many of the countries, and then the cycle is getting rotated, but there is no infuse of business. These are some of the main standards. European Union, which is the main having in the European nation, has blacklisted some of the countries. Like if you invest in that country, the data will be leaked out, and the countries will be knowing what exactly, how many people have been invested, how many rupees have been invested, what time is invested. So you cannot have business, you cannot have subsidy, you cannot have associate in that country. So European Union has practices some of the countries in that part. So I want to say this one thing that इतिहास लिखने के लिए परफेक्ट यूज होती है लेकिन कलम नहीं. Meaning is like for writing history you do not require pen, you only require courage. So have courage and let's seriously discussion. Thank you very much.